Hammers up, everyone. Towelliee here, back on the Dragonflight Alpha. Today, we're going to be talking about the updates to the Protection Paladin since our last video during Alpha. Now, a lot has changed in terms of moving talents around and or whatnot. I mean, if you're playing current Shadowlands Protection Paladin, it's going to feel the same rotationally, but obviously there's so many more passives now that your Avenger Shield, your Consecrate, everything's either doing more damage or it's emanating some sort of fire damage. But I have a few concerns, and there's a lot of good highlights too of the Protection Paladin tree, and we'll look at that a little bit in the class tree and see how it all synergizes together. So the first thing that we noticed, and this was something that a lot of Prot Paladins in the community looked at when they saw this, beta, first version of beta talents for Prot Paladin, is the bottom of the tree, what they call the capstones. I guess that's what they call them. Everyone calls them the capstones. I just call them the bottom of the tree. I'm such a degenerate. I'm so boomer. Like the tally. Take a look at the capstones. A week, I'm like, what are they talking about? What's a capstone? I'm like, yeah, the capstone, sure. But if you look down here, you have Moment of Glory, you have Bulwark of the Righteous Fury, and then you have Divine Toll with some Divine Toll choice nodes. One of being the Unity for Divine Toll, which is the Avenger Shield hitting every 5 seconds. Wait, is that Unity? Or is that is Unity, right? And then Improved Sarah and DT, that's what it's just called. I think they're going to call it something different later, which is just cooldown to Seraphim reduced by 5 seconds and Divine Toll by 15 seconds. So 45-second DT, pretty good. I'd stick with the Avenger Shield popping off every 5 seconds for 15 seconds. I like that a lot more. But you're probably wondering, that's interesting. If I was in a mythic raid environment, heroic raid environment, normal mode raid environment on single target bosses, which most fights are single target. Obviously, there's some encounters, maybe 2 or 3 encounters in a raid will have ads. Am I really going to need Divine Toll? I mean, we were using Ashen Hollow during the beginning of Shadowlands there for the first 3 tiers. Are we going to use Bulwark of the Righteous Fury? I don't think so. Moment of Glory? Probably not. So I'm not sure what this is all about. I feel like if I was speccing for, let's say, a mythic raid, I would already just not be here. I wouldn't spec in any of this stuff. I'd probably go into Righteous Protector. And obviously, I don't need to hit 2 more targets in a raid. I'll probably spec out of that and put more points to the Gift of the Valkyr. Each 3 holy powers spent reduces the cooldown of Arna Defender and Divine Shield by 1 second. That was one of our conduits. Really good. I'll probably keep that. Your Avenger Shield is imbued with Holy Fire, causing it to deal 519 damage to all enemies within 5 yards of the target hit. Probably don't need that either. More points into the single target stuff, right? So you can see how the tree is spread into, probably from like here and up, not counting Divine Toll, of course, to like single target versus AoE. And there's some stuff on the right side of the tree that does help the AoE on the left side of the tree, and there's a few things on the left side of the tree that can even help the right side of the tree. I feel like they still haven't gotten the right order yet of things. But with these 3 points, like right now, I'm just kind of changing from like a dungeon spec into like a raiding spec, right? Let's see. Oh, while you're in your consecration, your damage taken is reduced by an additional 5%. Seems good to me, but I have to take the consecration doing 20% more damage to even get here. And here's why I don't like the consecrate damage increase. There's 20% here. There's 10% here. There's 30% damage increase in your consecrate. I didn't see that big of a boost in damage because, frankly, your consecrate ticks are so low in damage that it's like, well, 30% of shit is shit. That's me being blunt. That's how I look at it. Maybe at really high item levels, once your consecrate is ramped up to a mythic raid level, once you do mythic raid testing, it'll shine better. But for now, I'm not a really big fan of it. But yeah, the capstone's my biggest problem, and it's also the biggest problem of a lot of the Prot Paladin community. I know Lincoln, who does the Wowhead posts for Prot Pallies, pointed that out to me the second that I opened up the tree and started looking at stuff. He's like, yeah, look at the capstones. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is kind of bad. But there are some very good talents in the Prot Paladin tree. Here are some of my favorites. Faith's Barricade for 1 point. 10% increase block chance by just using Avenger Shield for 10 seconds. I mean, that's probably always going to be up. Strength of Conviction, 20% increased damage and healing while hitting Shield of the Righteous in your Consecrate. I think that's awesome. Crusader's Judgment, oldie but a goodie. This I don't like. Faith in the Light. Casting Word of Glory grants you an additional 5% block chance for 5 seconds. I don't know. I just don't see maybe in the big Mythic Plus trash pull. I see myself saying maybe that 5% does help. I'll just pop a Word of Glory. But I'm not going to spam Word of Glory over Shield of the Righteous. But if I have the proc from Shining Light, I'll use it for that extra 5%. Eye of Tyr, probably my I gotta say that's my number one. I think it's such an underrated ability. It doesn't get talked about enough. Even in Legion, it wasn't talked about enough. It's literally a 25% damage reduction for 9 seconds on a 1-minute CD, right? And it does a little bit of damage. It does a little blind effect or blinding flash, whatever it says there. But I mean, that with Armed Defender, Guardian of the Ancient Kings, obviously Paladins have their little gimmicks. You even have Final Stand down here as a 1-pointer during Divine Shield. All targets within 15 yards are taunted. Currently, right now, you're still losing aggro, I believe, with using Final Stand and using Blessing of Spell Warding. Let's see. Over here, you have, that Soaring Shield. Here's Tyr's Enforcer. Once again, AoE for me. I'm probably not going to use that in a raid scenario. Relentless Inquisitor. Very happy to see this on the Prot tree. Because we need all the haste we can get, man. We really do. Now, the one talent that has not been fixed yet, that has been implemented, but doesn't work, is Sentinel. Now, Sentinel is cool as hell. You basically, Sentinel should be combining with Wings. So you should have the 20% damage and crit from Wings. And then once you hit Sentinel, you turn into like a little Sentinel of Holy Light guy, kind of like when you hit Guardian. You turn into like a Guardian, and you basically start off with like 30% damage reduction and 30% more increased health, maximum health by 30%, because it starts with 15 stacks, and then every second you'll begin to lose 1 stack per second every 5 seconds, but each 3 holy power spent will delay the loss of your next stack by a second. So I mean, it's a great cooldown to have. I mean, it basically means your Wings is pretty much a defensive and offensive CD if they combine it. But right now, it's kind of broken. It's giving you 330% more maximum health. So when you pop this, you have like 1,000,000 HP, and it's just not fair. But once Sentinel's implemented, that probably will be one of my favorite talents, probably number 2 behind Eye of Tyr. But the one thing that I've noticed in just running dungeons, spamming dungeons, and this could be just because we're at a lower level. We'll see how it works on a Mythic Plus level once we're doing dungeons and keys on the beta. Bulwark of Order, man. I remember during BFA, this damn talent was busted. I remember it was doing too much absorb. I remember then they had to nerf it. And now we're in the same situation, right? Avenger Shield also shields you for 8 seconds, absorbing 100% as much damage as it dealt. So, you combine Bulwark of Order with, hitting 2 targets, the increased damage to the primary target of Avenger Shield. You can go so many ways with Avenger Shield in this build, or in any build, right? Because this is the whole thing with the revamp of talents, right? It's just making a lot of builds for different scenarios in raids and dungeons. We have 10 loadouts that we can use, right? So with those 10 loadouts, I'm pretty sure we'll use 5 or 6. I mean, I'm going to have one for Mythic Plus, one for raiding. I might have a certain build for a certain raid boss. I might have a build for the week of Tyrannical and another build for the week of Fortified with certain talents, right? Hierarchy and Fortified, trash hits harder. Maybe I want to go Final Stand. And then I want to go Final Stand with Uther's Guard. And where's that other amazing talent? Where are you son of a bitch? The other one that reduces the CD. Oh, here we go. Unbreakable Spirit. Reduces the cooldown of your Divine Shield, Armed Defender, and Lay on Hands by 30%. Lay on Hands, Divine Shield, and Blessing of Protection by 20%. So that's a lot. I mean, that means you could be popping a bubble on a couple of huge trash pulls and just doing an insane amount of damage and helping out your healers and obviously your DPS. So I definitely wanted to know what you all think about so far the Prot side of the tree. Like I said, for me, like from Guardian right here in this little where my cursor's going, this is kind of like my favorite part of the tree, because I love the fact that if you take Gift of the Golden Valkyr and Righteous Protector, you're shaving off a second off your Guardian of the Ancient Kings just by Avenger Shield hitting the target and by using your Holy Power. Right, Righteous Protector we already knew was a really, really good talent. already in Shadowlands, and Gift of the Golden Valkyrie is just adding more to that. I think that's a great synergy right there. Still don't like the fact that I have to spec into like a bunch of wings talents for it to do what it already does on live. Kind of like whatever on that. Yeah, standing your Consecrate for 5% damage reduction, I think is another great talent, because that's Blizzard's thought process, right? We're taking away your insane amount of holy power generation from Avenger Shield, and Divine Toll, etc., and we're gonna make that up to you by, you know, having you stand in your Consecrate and reduce damage, or having you use Avenger Shield to increase your block chance, or using Word of Glory to increase your block chance. Honestly, what they should just do is give us like those Diablo talents for Crusaders. You know, just there should be a talent here that says, you know, your Consecrate just follows you around. Because that makes it so much easier. Because sometimes in Mythic Plus dungeons, you're pulling, you're adjusting, you're moving around. You have to reconsecrate, and then that kind of just makes some of these abilities a lot more tedious to utilize, like as a Prot Paladin. You know, so it's not as easy as just planting yourself in place and just, you know, attacking. Sometimes there's a mob at range, you have got to run over, Avenger Shield it, bring it in, consecrate again to get the other mobs put in. So yeah. There's another color. Which other ones did I not really get to? Let's see. Enemies hit by Avenger Shield deal 2% reduced damage to you for 10 seconds. Up to 3. And once again, Relentless Inquisitor for haste is just great. Now, on the class side of things, let's see. What are some highlights over here? And they switched a lot of stuff around. Hallowed Ground for 10% more Consecrate damage. So far, Incandescence and Touch of Light, they're both just garbage. I've tested these in dungeons, and just based off of the initial testing of just, you know, maybe a 15-20 minute dungeon, like they do like no damage. Like Incandescence might do like 1% of your damage, 2%. I don't even think I see Touch of Light if I were to use that one. Aspirations of Divinity is really good, but doesn't work. Your Blessed Hammer now also grants you 157 increased primary stat for 6 seconds. Multiple applications may overlap. I think that's a great talent, just not working. After Image, after you spend 20 holy power, your next Word of Glory echoes onto a nearby ally for 30% effectiveness. I don't know. Golden Path is actually not bad. I tried it. For leveling, I don't have to spec into it, but for dungeons, I'll spec into it. And then, I don't know, man. A lot of Prot Paladins are not really too happy about the whole Divine Steed and the extra, like, Cavalier and Seasoned Warhorse stuff. I don't know. I guess mobility is something that we lack, right? So, specking into that is great. As we get to the bottom of the tree, though, is where it gets spicy, right? Your choice between Divine Purpose and Holy Avenger. Obviously, Divine Purpose is what you want to use. Seal of Might does not work yet, with Wrath giving you Mastery, but here you go. Here's your 4% haste all the way at the bottom of the tree. 4%. 4% increased haste. I do whatever I fucking can, my friends, okay? To get to this goddamn talent with my 8% level 70 haste. Oh my god. And then at the bottom, you have your choice of Seraphim and Sanctified Wrath. Right now, Sanctified Wrath is better because you can just generate more holy power. And that's what we need right now with Avenger Shield lacking. And then Mad Paragon. I think Mad Paragon being here is good. Seal of the Crusader is okay. Your attacks have a chance to cause your target to take 10% increased holy damage for 5 seconds. It's all right. Before that, you have Avoidance and Speed. Probably want to use that. But yeah, there's a lot of, like, I guess I play my Prot Paladin right now on beta like I play on Shadowlands. And I just, in the back of my head, I know my passives. I know what they're doing for me. But I don't feel like there's anything really exciting, you know, happening for me. Hopefully Sentinel changes that. But that's just one ability on a 2-minute CD along with Wings. You know, and I know that Halinka had an interview with Bajira, and they were discussing, you know, hey, you know, we're not revamping or redoing all the talents. We're actually going to be adding in all your previous, you know, legendaries and 2 and 4P sets and artifact abilities from, you know, everything since Legion forward, right? And that's good, right? It's taking all of the borrowed power that we have as Prot Paladins and putting it all into one big tree. But for some reason, I kind of don't feel the synergy. And I definitely don't like the fact that I can't pick a mythic rating talent in any of the 3 capstones down here. Maybe we're not meant to. Maybe that's their goal there. Oh, and then there's Bastion of Light. I don't know why it's there. Please, Blizzard, remove it. No one's going to use Bastion of Light, just like no one's probably going to use Moment of Glory either. These 2 have to be replaced by something way better. Right now, obviously, I can't think of anything. Maybe Consecration Follow You Around should be here. You know, I put a point into it. I'd give a point. Put in 1 point. Your Consecrate follows you. Yes, I do that. Blessing of Protection, the reduction to 60 seconds is not working. Spell Warding is making me lose aggro. Blessing of Sacrifice, I actually like the Blessing of Sacrifice talent. If I'm told that it's needed in a raid, I will use it. Reduces the cooldown of Blessing by 60 seconds, or after Blessing ends, 50% of the total damage is diverted, is added to your next Judgment cast as bonus damage. I tried it out. The damage wasn't that great, but I think just the concept of it is really good. But yeah, let me know what you think about the whole Prot Paladin situation. And look, this is not taken away from how they're doing right now in dungeons. Like, I'm slapping. In dungeons, I am slapping. I can barely die at all because Bulwark of Order is so fucking overpowered that, like, my Avenger shields are just overhealing at this point. Once Mythic Plus comes out, I'll probably make another video, say, okay, here's the talents that I picked, here's what we did, here's now how these have performed on a higher level of damage intake. Because right now, it's really hard for any tank to die, I think. And I do want to make a tier list for tanks, but I kind of don't want to do that until our first week of raiding or our first week of Mythic Plus high key testing. So for now, you know, I guess you can just take everything I said with a grain of salt and just give me your thoughts on the synergy of the tree and just the talents themselves. Hey, and if you guys have any ideas for talents, put them in the comments. I know people at Blizzard. I'm in a super secret Discord every day with them, with a bunch of other creators. And any information that you guys give me that's good, I relay. It was good. You know, like please, God, folks, help me replace Bastion of Light and Moment of Glory with something fucking useful. Think of a 4-piece bonus set from like back in the day that was really legit that we could use. Next video, we're going to be looking at Brewmaster and the changes that they have had from alpha to beta. And I am way more excited for Brewmaster from a gameplay standpoint. And you'll see then why I just said that in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please catch the stream. We're streaming beta all the time, Dragonflight all the time. You know me, for the last 12 years, I don't get tired of repeating the content, doing it all over again, leveling all over again. It's just what I do. I love doing it. You know, it's my passion. I don't get bored. People ask me in chat every day, Towelliee, don't you get bored of just doing the same stuff every day? Like, I think I seen you do this quest like 5 times, and you've been looking at these Prot Paladin talents for a month now. And I'm like, well, yeah, because I want to get ready for the next expansion, because I think it's going to be a banger. You know, obviously, it's going to be one of those really good expansions. I feel it. I feel it this time. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, catch me on the stream. I'll see you all later. Peace out. God, please work.